Long ago, when this world was just being created, on the edge of a very large forest there was a pond. This pond with very clear water is inhabited by hundreds of frogs, who are always happy. They always talk to each other and never stop talking. How exciting it would be if we could have the opportunity to eavesdrop on their exciting celebrations from behind the lush trees on the edge of the pond at the edge of the forest. In that era, all animals living on this earth could speak like humans. Day after day, all they do is talk, and eventually they get bored. They are bored of just staying in the pool and talking, never getting to know the rest of the world. They all need a vacation to get out of that place to find another atmosphere. So at the right time, and coincidentally they all gathered at that time. They all chose a leader to be appointed as their king. So at that time they prayed together to each other, so that they would be chosen a king to lead them. Very loud prayers came out of their mouths, and they seemed very enthusiastic in praying. Not long ago, a fairly large tree fell into the pond and splashed water everywhere, hitting hundreds of toads who were fervently praying. The pool water seemed to be turned upwards, causing very large water ripples. All the frogs that were not hit by the tree trunk simultaneously scrambled to save themselves. They all hid behind the bushes around the place. There were also some who hid behind lotus leaves, and they just kept quiet all night. The next day, after the atmosphere seemed calm and there were no more suspicious reactions, a frog was brave enough to check his surroundings. However, the brave frog still did not dare to approach the king, who had just descended from the sky. Still from quite a distance the brave frog looked at their king. And then the others also approached the trunk of the tree they thought was their new king. A crowd surrounded the wooden tree trunk. They believed that the wooden trunk was the king who was sent down from the sky. The strange and funny king just keeps quiet, a frog commented while sneering with his mockery. All the toads realized that their new king couldn't do anything. They started praying again, shouting at each other very loudly. For the second time, they prayed for their king to be sent down from heaven. After a few moments, a beast came down from the sky complete with a golden crown on its head. "Listen to all my people. I am your king who came down from the sky," the stork shouted loudly. With long strides, his legs continued to swallow all the frogs that his beak could reach. Not long after, the stork's stomach was full of the frogs he had eaten. The stork, after being satisfied with his meal, immediately flew back into the sky. After the stork had finished eating and flew back into the sky, one of the frogs spoke again. "From now on I don't want to have a king anymore. Why do kings just eat?" cried the frog. But the others were still shocked and just kept quiet. No one could speak. With the attitude of the king, they just came from the sky suddenly, and after eating their fill then flew back into the sky and disappeared again. Even now, the frog can only say, "Doc, doc, doc, do-do-da-da-da-dark," because he is so scared. Moral message: make every incident the most valuable teacher in your life, because an event may not necessarily match your hopes and dreams.